Do you want to see an old man with dementia become friends with a robot? Then this is the movie for you. I'm Salad and I saw Robot and Frank. It is directed by Jake Scher, written by Christopher D. Ford. If you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. This was requested by a Patreon. If you'd like to fast track a movie review, patreon.com/ASEPresents. On with the review. This movie follows Frank. I think he's about 60 or 70 years old. He has dementia, and he used to do a lot of burgles. He's bored of life, he's angsty, he's annoyed. He has no routine whatsoever, so he's just being rebellious and overall being crazy. He has a son named Hunter, and Hunter's basically like, hey, if you don't take this robot helper, then I'm gonna put you in a home. Frank doesn't like the robot at first. He feels like it's restricting him, he doesn't want any help. However, when Frank's like, oh, I'm going to reminisce on the days in which I committed lots of burgles, the robot's like, oh, okay, cool. And then he's like, maybe I can steal something. I don't know. And the robot's like, all right, well, I'll help you with that. But it starts with him teaching how to get the robot to pick a lock. And the robot is really good at picking locks and also good at guessing a bunch of combinations because, you know, it's a robot. It can just do a bunch of different combinations. So that's very useful. The hunter would be like, you know, I want you to have that robot. There's also his daughter who's like, you know, I think it's kind of terrible that you've been left with the robot. And I think ultimately the conflict is caused by poor communication skills. I think it's my expectation of movies nowadays when I was expecting some sort of jump scare or somebody to go all murderous or something. But no, it didn't turn out like that. But, you know, it's a different type of movie. It's not one of those movies. It's not one of those hidden horror movies or hidden something weird's going to happen. Even in non-horror movies, I feel like modern day movies, they have some sort of horror edge to them. Even in non-horror movies. Even like Marvel movies, for example, they still utilize jump scares. Part of me was like, oh, this is really nice. Part of me was like, okay, I know this is nice. When is the robot going to get taken away? That was what I was thinking the entire time because that's just story structure. The robot's committing a bunch of crimes. He's plotting this really detailed way to steal this really expensive necklace from a few doors down. The robot has no feelings, but the robot do be stating, I don't think we should be doing this. Also, I like how his dementia is in play during this movie too. There are key aspects of the dementia being a point of conflict. Like, for example, he thinks this restaurant is in business, but it closed years ago. He also keeps going to the same place, and each time he goes there, the people who run the place be like, hey, you gotta get out of here, dude. We do not want you here because you keep stealing our soaps that we have for sale. Please stop doing that. And the robot, the last time that he's there, he's like, hey, we're gonna leave now. You know, and I appreciate the robot. There's like the buddy system there. That's nice. And I cannot believe that the chick is like, I'm gonna do things for you, so you don't even need the robot. And it's like 3 days. There's a window of time in which he can steal the jewels and needs the robot's help. And during that time, his freaking daughter be like, hey, how about I do everything for you? Watching this movie, I was like, I would rather be friends with the robot. I would rather be friends with the robot than deal with the daughter because I felt like she was presented in a really annoying way. And I felt like this movie partially was like, you should be friends with your robots. And I'm like, I do want to be friends with my robot. But of course, you need other people in your life. Being friends with robots would be weird. They don't have feelings. They don't have the same human connection need that humans do. The police do be suspecting that he do be doing the burgling. So of course, they suspect that the robot has some footage, and the robot be like, hey, you have to erase my memories, all of it. If you erase some memories, it won't work. Nope, won't work whatsoever. He's like, I don't want to erase you, you're my friend. And there's a crucial moment where he locks himself and the robot in a room, and the robot's like, hey, you should really just erase my memory. He's like, fine, I'll do it. And then he erases the memory and he gives the robot up. It's so sad. The ending's so sad because he sees the robot later on. He's like really sad, and then he sees other robots and he's like, oh, they're just all the same. He has an emotional attachment to that robot, but it's not human. This movie made me feel sick. I was tearing up at the end. I was like, wow, this is so sad. This is well done. I don't know if you've seen this movie. I definitely have not heard of this movie or anybody that I know talk about this movie before I watched this movie. You should watch it if you like a tearjerker, if you like weird movies that are about friendship, but ultimately have like an emotional core to them. And it's about life. And I liked this movie a lot. I feel like most of the movie was pretty bright. Even the scenes that are a little bit darker are just darker because there's some sort of emotional thing that happens, some sort of emotional tension thing that happens. But most of the movie, I feel like the beginning is a little bit not as orange as the middle parts where they're having a bunch of fun. Frank and the robot are having a bunch of fun. That's super orange, so it's like signify happiness. The beginning is just like whatever, you know, it's just life. It's more of a neutral tone in the whites. And then at the very end, it's blue. And it's really blue. And it makes me feel so sad. That's the color tone in this movie. It's also just heavily lit. Very bright. Lots of colors. But it's also not too many colors. It's the right amount of colors. And also, it's kind of just a bright movie in general. Would I recommend this movie? Yes. Have you seen this movie? Let me know in the comments below. I think everybody did a really good job in this movie in terms of the acting. And the cinematography is pretty great, and there's a lot of really pretty scenes in this. A lot of pretty shots, especially for the transitions. I liked those a lot. I gotta give this one, it's a 7.3 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another on the platform and like that $20 Dinos, patreon.com/ASEPresents, 1 movie review for 1 month. If I haven't reviewed on the channel, there's a chance I haven't seen it at all, so that's why you gotta get them Patreon requests at patreon.com/ASEPresents. Helps with the daily grind news by going on to groups.com, so you can go here, and until next time, mint salad saw. I'll see you later, my sour croutons and bacon bits. I'm gonna find a robot of my own. This is not a robot, this is a car. I'm gonna find a robot. Goodbye.